Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching EXPOZ on January 27, 2012, 1:04 a.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: the real reason Flight 297 Atlanta to Houston was canceled. And the date on this is Tuesday the 17th. Look it up. Very, very important for the real story, and I'm going to tell it to you. Flight 297 Atlanta to Houston. It appears there was a dry run once again with the Muslims, arrogant SOBs. Gene Hackelmack received an email from a good friend, Tedd Petruna. He's a diver at the NBL facility, Neutral Buoyancy Lab at NASA, Houston, whom he used to work with. Ted happened to be on the same flight, 297 Atlanta to Houston. Okay, here in a nutshell is what happened, and I'll try to make it quick. 11 Muslims got on the airplane in full attire. And this again, Tuesday the 17th of this month. And if you read the newspapers, you may have seen a blurb where an air trans flight was canceled from Houston or Atlanta to Houston due to a man who refused to get off the cell phone. This is not what happened. What happened? These 11 Muslims got on the airplane. 2 sat in first class, and the rest peppered themselves throughout the rest of the plane, all the way to the back. When one in first class got on his plane after the stewardess started giving her usual spiel about, here are the exits, here are your life preservers, here are your masks, should you need them, when one of the arrogant Muslim men was on the phone talking loudly. This took out the first stewardess. Okay? He was talking loudly to a man in the back. That took out the second stewardess because she went to him and told him to get off of the phone. And then a third turned on a video, a webcam thing. He was setting out a webcam, just a video that he was watching. Now, if a Muslim man goes to a strip club, he has to view the woman via mirror, I don't know why, with his back to her. Don't ask me, he didn't make the rules, but he studied. Okay, now this took a third stewardess out of the play because she's on this man and telling him you cannot have electronic devices on at this time, and the other people still had the phones out, creating commotion. Okay, so at that moment, all 11 stood up and started from, they left the front of the plane going to the back, and from the back going to the front, when this gentleman jumped up and said, no, 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 no. So he grabbed the man. He grabbed the Muslim. Tedd Petruna did this. And he told him, you're going to sit down. And he grabbed him pretty tight. And as he did, a pretty big Texan came up behind him and said, I got your back, buddy. And he also grabbed a Muslim by the nape of the neck and by his belt on his waist and like shoving him in the seat. Well, at this time, they had already put out a call, a distress call. Okay? The doors came open, and in comes some TSA agents, 3 agents, 4 cops. So Ted and his Texan friend were told to cease and desist, and they did. because the cops and the TSA agents had it under control. They took these 11 men off their plane, and within a short while they were back on the plane, luggage and all. And when Ted saw this, other people saw this, all the stewardesses saw this, and the pilot saw this. They said, no, we're not going to do this. So the pilot and his assistant, the co-pilot, and the stewardesses all said, we're deplaning, we're getting off. They got off. And within minutes, they were replaced by a whole new crew. And when the whole new crew walked on, and then, again, you got all these Muslims back on there, Ted stood up and said, look, I'm not flying. I'm going to get off with the rest of them. And a stewardess told him, said, you can't go anywhere. You need to sit down. He jumped up and told her, said, look, woman, if I have to take you by the waist and dive out that back door, you're going to let me off. Well, behind him stood up over half of the airplane. We went off, and they would not sit down. So the flight was canceled. And I say for very good cause. Here, pretty much in a nutshell, what people thinks happened at that time. And this was a dry run. Exactly what this was. And with a dry run, the terrorists, or supposedly terrorists, they want to see how people would handle this. Being a dry run or not, the terrorists wanted to see if the TSA would handle it, how the crew would handle it, how the passengers would handle it. Well, luckily for people like Ted and several other people on the airplane that did get involved, could have really prevented a major problem. But at the same time, you have these Muslims that are back at it, y'all. I'm telling you, keep your friggin' ears and eyes open. It ain't over. It ain't started yet. If you have any idea what they are doing in other countries, then you better open your eyes, because it's here. It's going on, and it's going on in the hundreds of new mosques that are going up in our country every year. I'm telling you, wake up, open your eyes, see what's going on, because we are headed into dark territory. And the man that's putting us in there is called Barack Obama. About the most Muslim, well, he's Muslim, there's no way around it, and he's an idiot. But open your eyes, because hell's coming to America unless we can put a dampener on it. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.